I am Jenny Taft, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. It is Friday. Good morning. How are we
Jenny,
doing?
how are you? You know what? I'm starting to think the best player on the planet lives in the Staples Center basement. I don't know who that guy, what's his name?
What is that guy's name?
Kawhi. That's 4 straight games of 30-plus points. I don't know what got into him, but that guy who lives upstairs, he struggled against the
Skip.
poor Cleveland
It was
Cavaliers.
the back-to-back. Sticking that in the back-to-back. You know that, Skip.
I don't know that, but I can't wait until that Tuesday before the Super Bowl when they meet again.
Your day coming.
Yep.
Your day coming. Just make sure. I want that energy now. I want that energy during Super Bowl week, too.
I'm about to have it for this show.
Yeah, I feel like
am up for
today
this.
we are ready. So much to get to. Packed show. How important is Sunday's game for Aaron Rodgers' legacy? And should we be surprised at who will become plays for Dak in Dallas? But first, we are going to talk Titans-Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Patrick Mahomes said that he'd be even happier for Andy Reid than for himself if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. To get there, though, they'll have to stop the Road Warrior Titans. Derrick Henry has been a force and is the first player to have 2 games of at least 175 rushing yards in the same postseason. And Henry will look to continue that streak Sunday in Kansas City. He has been on a roll, but Shannon, who wins this game?
Skip, the Titans have been playing unbelievable, and I expect that to continue. But the Chiefs, I just think they can score too many points. I just think Patrick Mahomes is on another level. He's been great since he's been back from that knee injury. They cost him to miss about 2.5 games. They lost his first game back in Tennessee, but he threw for 446 and 3 touchdowns in his first game back. And last week when they fall behind 24-0, he didn't panic. He was unbelievable down the stretch. The Titans defense, Skip, has used the turnover to create short fields and to produce points. Patrick Mahomes, though, on the other hand, has been great at taking care of the football this year. Only 5 interceptions, and they have been great at home. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, and I think this game is going to get away from the Titans late. I got the Chiefs 33-20. And I understand the Chiefs need to make this game. They can't do what they did last week. They can't, and the thing, what happens is, Skip, is when you get a punt block or you have some deficiencies, the other team looks and says, okay, this is where we can get them. I think Andy shores that up. I think the special teams shore that up. And I think Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, I just think they're too much. And I think late in the ball game, it would come crystal clear to the Titans that we've had a great season, but our Cinderella run is over. And I believe the Chiefs go on to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl by the score of 33-20 over the Tennessee Titans.
33-20.
Yep.
And by the way, we already made one bet on this game in which my partner across the table gave me Titans plus 10.
Yeah.
You don't want to renege on that today?
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
thank you
You're
very
good
much.
with my homeboy.
So, in this, the 100th season of the Great National Football League, the fitting conclusion, what the NFL gods would proclaim to happen, should be Kansas City versus Green Bay in the Super Bowl, because that would be a rematch of the first ever Super Bowl, which was played out here in the Coliseum. That was on January 15th of 1967. And the Packers, coached by Vince Lombardi, won that game pretty easily, 35-10, although they outscored the Chiefs 21-0 in the second half. And it was Bart Starr to Max McGee for a couple of big touchdowns.
Hank Scrambles on the sideline.
He was. So wouldn't it be the perfect way?
That really would.
You know, just to come full circle back to that one in the 100th year. I have a nagging suspicion that ain't happening. In fact, my gut feeling is just the opposite is going to happen, and we'll get to the other game in just a moment. But remember the Titans. It was a great Denzel movie.
Yep.
And my nagging suspicion is it's becoming the tagline for these NFL playoffs. It might even become the hashtag for these NFL Titans. Remember the Titans. So you might remember that I picked the Titans, I think you also did too, to upset New England at New England.
I did. We did. We both did.
And then the next time around, I picked the Titans to upset Baltimore at Baltimore.
Yes, you did.
And I told you how much I hated making the pick because I wanted to see Lamar in this Super Bowl.
Right.
That obviously did not happen. So you can say third time will not be the charm.
You ride it.
But I'm doing it again. I'm going to pick the Tennessee Titans to pull off the quote-unquote upset at Kansas City. And this time, I don't believe it'll be an upset. You called it the end of the Cinderella story. I don't think they're Cinderella anymore. I think they're just legitimately the better team this Sunday at Kansas City. I think the Tennessee Titans are the mentally and physically toughest team left in all of these playoffs. Of all the four teams, they are the mentally and physically toughest and the best coached of these four teams. You might agree with that.
Oh, yeah, they definitely.
And I believe the most unstoppable weapon left in these playoffs is not Patrick Mahomes. It's number 22 for the visiting Titans.
Yeah.
It's Derrick Henry, who I've started calling Eric Henry because he's the next Eric Dickerson. And we're about to have in just a few minutes sitting right here the real-life Eric Dickerson to talk about Derrick Henry and his chances at Kansas City. You know and I know, if that man does what he did to New England and to Baltimore, to the Chiefs, they're going to have a hard time winning this game.
Absolutely.
If he goes for 180 or 190 or 200 plus, they're going to have a hard time winning this game.
Hard.
And I'm going to remind you that the Chiefs during the regular season ranked 26th against the rush. So you would think advantage Titans there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You would think huge disadvantage Titans when it comes to quarterback. I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, there's a disadvantage. You know that.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I have never been a Ryan Tannehill fan, and when I made my prediction of Tennessee winning at Tom Brady, I said, I can't believe I'm picking Ryan Tannehill to upset Tom Brady. Ryan Tannehill didn't have just a good year. He quietly had a great year.
Yes.
He is easily the most underrated quarterback left in these playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah.
And to me, I believe he's the most underrated playoff quarterback since that kid from Michigan drafted in the 6th round helped carry the New England Patriots in 2001 all the way to the Super Bowl through the Tuck Rule game, obviously. And Tom got hurt at Pittsburgh and got a little help from Drew Bledsoe. And then he pulled off that last-ditch drive for the last-ditch field goal to win that game in the Super Bowl. I think Ryan Tannehill is going Tom Brady on these playoffs because the note I saw yesterday from Pro Football Focus that was the most shocking Pro Football Focus note of the year was Ryan Tannehill, they graded number 1 in the regular season of all quarterbacks. They said he graded out the best.
Skip Bayless, that'll be the equivalent of somebody coming half the year and becoming valedictorian. The hell you say?
But
you're not going to be valedictorian after no 8 games.
He played 11 games.
No, still not enough.
Okay, 11 to me is out of 16, so that's 11/16 of the season.
No. What about the other 5? The other 5, he'd have stunk it up.
He might have.
Yeah.
And he doesn't throw a lot, but when he throws, it's really, really good.
Yes.
Because
he only throw it 13 times a game, Skip.
He does throw it. In fact, while you bring that up, at New England, he was 8 of 15 for 72 yards.
Yeah.
And at Baltimore, he was 7 of 14 for 88 yards.
So he threw it 14 times a game.
Okay. And yet, Pro Football Focus said he had the 3rd best percentage of good throws and the 3rd best percentage of throws that were not turnover worthy, you know, like clean throws. So he was just doing it at the highest level all season long without big numbers.
Well, the thing is, Skip, what helped him is because, as you alluded to, he started 11 games. Well, 8 games, Derrick Henry had the most rush yards in NFL history over an 8-game span. So now, when you run the ball like they can, you play action off of that.
Thank you. And I do agree with that. And that's how he is benefiting.
Yes.
That's why his throws are graded so high, because somebody's always going to be open.
Wide open.
Wide open. And when you think about his weapons, they're obviously not Tyreek and Nico.
You wanted Nico in New England.
Did I? But think about what he does have when you least expect it. He's got a breakout receiver from Ole Miss named A.J. Brown. And again, he's caught like 2 balls in the playoffs, but he can do it.
Yes.
He can get behind you.
Right.
Corey Davis, their other receiver, was the 5th overall pick.